Hi everyone. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some water loving plants. I haven't covered ferns before, so I'm going to show you my collection of ferns as well as give you some tips about how you can care for these plants. I want to say that ferns are not a very easy plant to grow, at least not for me. I don't really collect too many ferns simply because I'm more of a practical gardener, and these guys do need a lot of upkeep, and you need to keep closely monitor, especially their water requirements. Okay, but having said that, if you are a gardener who is heavy handed with your watering, okay, these might be plants that you would love. There are thousands of varieties of ferns. I've read somewhere that there probably are more than 15,000 different species of ferns, which means that you will find ferns of all shapes, all sizes. They grow typically in the tropics, and you have both types. You have the lithophytes as well as the epiphytes. So lithophytes are those which grow between the crevices of rocks, etc., and epiphytes are those that grow on branches or trunks of trees or other plants. Now, quickly moving on to my collection of ferns. So let's start with this variety. This is called the bird's nest. So I have two ferns in this. So I have this one, which is a broadleaf variety, and then you have this one, which is a crinkle leaf or a ripple leaf variety. This is also called a bird's nest lasagna because it looks like a lasagna sheet. Scientific name for these ferns are Asplenium nidus. So Asplenium in Greek means spleen plants. And the reason why they were called spleen plants is because apparently in ancient Greece, they believed that these plants had medicinal properties to cure diseases of the spleen. Then you have the lace fern. Okay, this is also called the asparagus fern, also called the Plumosa nanus. Okay, so this fern, very pretty and very delicate. Loves its humidity again. This is one of my favorite ferns. This is the maidenhair fern. Okay, so very fussy plant to grow though. So and have to regularly be monitored. Some of these ferns I got from my dad from his garden as well. You have this one, which is the lady fern. It has a very beautiful neon colored leaf. This is a kangaroo foot fern. Okay, this one is not a fern at all. So I had already come and kept it here thinking it is a fern. But upon further research, I realized this is actually a different variety. It's called a tapeworm plant. So I'm going to cover it in a different video. But to know that this is not really a fern. Okay, this is a very interesting fern. This is called a staghorn fern. Okay, and if you see this one, its leaves or fronds look like antlers of a stag, right, of a deer. So that's why it's called a staghorn fern. This is an epiphyte. So in the wild, it grows on trees. Its fronds just fall down like antlers of a stag. It really looks beautiful. It's become quite a popular fern, but it is quite an expensive one as well. Okay, so these, I think I've covered most of the varieties. Of course, this is the Boston fern. This is the baby of my main Boston fern plant. Now moving on to care tips when it comes to ferns. Most important thing, at least I learned from ferns, is that they love their humidity. They like to be consistently moist or consistently damp. Keep them in an area which receives bright light but indirect light. So they do grow in rainforests, right? They do like dappled light. They don't do that well if you kind of keep them completely in the shade, like how you would keep a calathea or any other plant. But what's most important is to keep the humidity high for ferns. Okay, so that's one of the reasons ferns are great candidates for terrariums, because terrarium by the very nature has this very humid ecosystem, a self-sustaining ecosystem. Of course, one of the methods that you can increase humidity is by using a humidifier. Okay, so I find this useful especially for specific plants, and I normally use it close to my calatheas and ferns. Secondly, lay down a tray of pebbles, put water in the tray, or the pot should not be soaked in water. So it should be on the layer of pebbles itself, but there should be some water under the pebbles. Water from the tray evaporates, it kind of creates that humidity for the ferns. The other tip is to actually grow them or bunch them together. They can create their own kind of a micro environment there. Most important thing is to ensure that you are watering them consistently. When I'm saying consistently, it doesn't mean that they're soaking in water. I want to repeat that. We don't want to rot their roots, but at the same time, they need to be moist. Okay, unlike other plants which will do well with the drying between waterings. With ferns, the minute you dry, are likely to dry up completely or die on you. So that's the balance that you need to keep off, keeping them moist. So one way to do this is to ensure that your soil is well draining, so has some water retentive media. Like, you can use coco peat or a peat moss based media, which will help to retain moisture a little longer and on a consistent basis. For instance, my peacock fern, I'm actually using a layer of moss on the top just to increase that humidity as well. With fertilizing, it is a little difficult to keep them happy, right? So I am a little wary of fertilizing ferns. But I have read, I've also heard, I haven't tried, so I don't know how well this works. But Epsom salt just a couple of like 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt, probably in a gallon of water, is what they typically recommend when the ferns are in growing season. Okay, don't fertilize any plant for that matter. Ferns, non-ferns, any plant when it is not growing is not supposed to be fertilized. If you're not comfortable, use more of an organic fertilizer. You can use vermicompost, you can use regular leaf compost, etc., or your cow dung manure, and all of this as fertilizers. And the reason why I'm a little wary about suggesting some of these methods is because ferns are expensive as well. Especially the exotic ones can be extremely expensive, like the bird's nest, or for that matter, the staghorn fern. Very difficult to experiment with them, right? So just go easy on the fertilizer. In terms of temperature, they like the temperature that you and I like, which means that if it is a regular temperature, between say 20 to 30 degrees, that's something that they would prefer. So if it's very cold, bring them indoors. They will do well in humid areas. Like if you see the coastal areas, ferns are much easier to manage in these areas rather than in Bangalore, which has more of a dry, less humid temperature, and that's where you need the help of external things like a humidifier, or for that matter, a pebble tray, water tray, that can provide that additional humidity, or a terrarium. These are some of the tips that I can think of. So I have covered water, I have covered temperature, I've covered the soil, and I have covered the fertilizers. Okay, maybe for me, they are not the easiest plants to grow, but I love them as well, right? I have been avoiding collecting them both because of space constraints, and secondly, because I don't really have the patience. I like to grow plants which are easy, a little less maintenance. Okay, before I wrap up, the intention of this video is absolutely not to dissuade you from growing ferns. Of course, they are lovely plants, and especially if you're a gardener who loves growing delicate plants, whose growth you like to monitor on a consistent basis, these are absolutely rewarding plants for you. And even within ferns, like the bird's nest is a lot hardier than, say, a maidenhair or a Boston fern, right? So you can choose the varieties that are hardy to kind of add to your collection. One thing I forgot about is the pot that ferns prefer. So don't invest in pots that are very tall because their root system is very shallow. So invest in pots that are broader, wider rather than taller. Okay, so if you have a wide pot, these ferns can spread easily and they can grow a lot more bushier than with a tall pot. Okay, so I hope I've not scared you away from these, because these are absolutely gorgeous plants. Okay, just that they need that additional special care. Okay, thanks so much for listening in so patiently. Have a nice day.